Hi, friends. Okay, we have an update on the Chapel Roan security guard, overzealous security guard situation. New celebrity character unlocked in this whole weird drama with the security guard. We're gonna get to that. We're gonna talk about just a couple other pop culture stuff, and I hope everyone is having a beautiful week. It is Saturday. We are going out tonight to celebrate some very special birthdays, and I'm very excited about it. But I've been telling y'all about this Chapel Roan's Jude Law's daughter, security guard, soccer player debacle that has gotten Chapel Roan basically banned from ever performing in Rio de Janeiro, which is nuts. And we have an update. So I wanted to come and talk about that and just say hello because I love talking to y'all. The security guard apparently has broken his silence again. Or maybe it wasn't him. Maybe it was someone else that figured it out. But when he said that he did not work for Chapel Roan or the hotel in his last statement, he was not lying. Because apparently it is... There's another twist. Sabrina Carpenter's security guard. Where the hell did she come from? She's so cute. But you know what? I remember her on Girl Meets World. But I couldn't tell you what she's saying. So, I mean, if it's something catchy that we've all heard before, I'm sure it would sound familiar to me. But I'm not in very many situations where I listen to the radio nowadays. So, but I remember her from Girl Meets World because remember at Face It, we're 40 followers. If you know what I'm talking about, that is one of the Facebook pages I run. I'll link it. Go follow Face It, we're 40. It's great. And we had Boy Meets World. Okay, so fast forward in Girl Meets World, Topanga and Corey are the parents, and they have 2 kids. Oh my goodness, it was such a cute show. It was perfect. It was nostalgia for the parents, and we all love Topanga. Who doesn't love Topanga? Still. And then a whole new thing for the next generation. I used to watch with my babies. We love Girl Meets World. I love Boy Meets World. They never saw Boy Meets, obviously. They weren't here. So, now what? I don't know. I think all we can take away from this is I bet that security guard is going to lose his job. And that little girl learned an important life lesson, which is that life isn't fair and sometimes people are dicks. So, we all have to learn it sometime. And it sucked that happened the way it did. But look at all the parents that she had protect. Like, that was pretty cool. I like that. I like that protective energy. Chapel Roan in the clear for this one. It's just the security guard who apparently needs to lay off the stimulants. Calm down, buddy. Calm down. In other news, and this is awesome too, and I love it so much. Did you guys know? Hey, and also, I've only been learning about this stuff because y'all like these videos. And I like doing them. They're fun. As long as we keep everything pretty as respectful as possible. But I should know this. You probably don't know this, but apparently for the Hannah Montana reunion show Disney special was Miley Cyrus called Alex Cooper creepy. She goes. So if you don't know who Alex Cooper is, don't feel bad. That just means you have a productive life and you're not wasting your time on brain rot. I didn't know who she was either until I started watching these other little YouTube channels, these pop culture channels. I'm trying to zone in, join the world again, in a as lighthearted way as possible because my heart has been through a lot. A lot of people already know. And if you don't know, go visit a courthousekidnapping.com. It's been a lot. It has been a journey, darlings. It's been a journey. And as a coach, we're all on our own journeys and they all look different. And that's totally fine. I think sometimes there is this misconception that people believe within, especially very empathetic people, especially good, salty earth people, they look at their own problems or their own challenges in comparison to the challenges of the world. And they think that whatever could be ailing them is nothing in the wake of what other people are going through. And on one hand, yes, that's true. That is true. But there are so many other layers. What someone else is going through, not only is it not a reflection of your reality and what you're going through, even though there may be many parallels, but also as human beings, if we put it on each of ourselves to take on every other problem of the 8 billion plus other human beings on the planet, nothing would ever get done and we would all devolve into madness. So, no. Further, just because it looks like you have a better life, and we talk about first world problems versus people growing up in poverty with dirt floors, okay? Are those challenges going to look different? Absolutely. That doesn't make handling your situation, it doesn't make it any less pertinent to you and your survival and your existence, necessarily what someone else is going through. And that sounds cold. I don't mean it to sound cold, but it's just the truth. That pretty much because as many of you know, I went a little crazy when it came to my education before getting into coaching. And then I did more before launching Mental Health VB because I wanted to be prepared. It's something that a lot of those courses all kind of have, because they're different. It's different styles. You're learning different things. But something that they all certainly have in common is the emphasis on not getting burnt out by helping other people. You cannot pour from an empty bucket. I just feel like that's the best metaphor that really encompasses, like, you have to take care of what is directly in front of you before you can move on to help other people. And that's true. Now, of course there's going to be times, emergency situations, where you have to drop what's going on with you and tend to another person if you're just being a decent human being. That's why we're all here, right? We human beings thrive in numbers for a reason. But also, I used to like to explain it like this. Clients who carried that kind of guilt of, well, other people have it worse. In some scenarios, when you say that to yourself in the right mindset, it can make you feel a lot better about what's going on. Okay, well, maybe I have a little bit more control over this than if, in contrast to this situation, this other individual is dealing with. But on the other hand, it can make people feel guilty because they don't feel like they should tend to their own problems because other people have problems, which is ass backwards. And I used to explain it to them like this. Let's look at it this way. Let's say you and your friend are both in a vehicle, and that vehicle gets in a car accident, a collision. And through all of this, you end up with a broken leg, and you're on the ground with a broken leg. You get thrown out of the car, broken leg. Now, your friend also gets thrown out of the car with 2 broken legs. Okay, so both his legs are broken. You only got one good one. You're both laying on the ground waiting for police to come. Rescue services, which you need at this point, because y'all are 3 legs down out of 4, right? Now, The whole reason I'm framing this story this way is because my point is that his 2 broken legs doesn't make your 1 broken leg any less broken and in need of immediate medical care. And I feel like it's important to look at our own psyches and our own challenges in front of us the exact same way. There would be no way that you could help your friend with this 1 broken leg, even though he's far off worse. See what I'm saying? It's not selfish to rewire yourself sometimes first. It's absolutely necessary sometimes. And no human is infallible. And there's no one of us who this doesn't apply to, because we're human beings. Things are going to happen. Life is not easy. If anyone ever told you life was easy, you should ask them what that was all about, because it was a lie. And as adults, we all know this. We can't expect it to be easy. We can't expect it to be fair, because it isn't inherently those things. And that's not anybody's fault. That's just how it is. So, okay, ADD Jamie, come way back. This is supposed to be about pop culture. And of course, Jamie goes into a weird coaching rant. All right. What was I saying? Oh, okay. So, Miley Cyrus, bringing it back. Miley Cyrus said that Alex Cooper was creepy because, this is how we got there. So Alex Cooper is a YouTuber who has a podcast, and she's not a very good interviewer. I'm not gonna lie. A lot of people say that, and they are correct. I don't know how she got that job. I don't know. Like I said, I didn't follow the Alex Cooper lore. I'm just learning all of this. But whatever. She's doing her own thing. Anyways, so last week, Disney had a Hannah Montana reunion special. And of course, Miley Cyrus was there because she was Hannah Montana. It was her, and I'm pretty sure her dad was on the show too. And she got up on stage and told a story about how nice Alex Cooper was, and da 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 da. And she was like, "Oh, and she's also my neighbor now." She said something along the lines of Alex Cooper, so this is Miley Cyrus talking, something along the lines of talking about Alex Cooper. She got rich and then just bought a house next to me, and then I saw her outside. And she goes, "Oh, I didn't know you lived here." And Miley Cyrus was like, "You interviewed me at my house like 5 years ago." Definitely knew I lived here. Oh my God, the shade. I love it. I love it. Anyways, I just want to come tell you guys all that. Also, so I've been doing old clip farming from some of my videos from last year and putting them on the Instagram and TikTok, the Instagrams and TikTok. But I did not realize that in the descriptions, I was putting links. I'm like putting links to the whole video on Instagram and TikTok, and they're not linking. So it'll say, click the link to watch a full video, and I didn't even know this. I haven't been looking at those platforms as someone other than me. And so I didn't realize that viewers can't click those links, if that makes any sense. So I'm working on it. I'll figure out some other way to do it. For now, if you do come across any of those clips and it says click the link, but you can't click it, you can copy and paste it in your browser. It's just going to take you to one of my YouTube channels, whatever that clip was from. But yeah, so we're all still learning. It's fine. Blake Lively. Well, this is the third pop culture thing, and then I'm done for now for today. Blake Lively lawsuit against Justin Baldoni. All of her SA claims were thrown out, which I think we all knew she was. I don't know which. I mean, she was trying to take over that production and smear this man from the get-go. We all saw it. So it's been a loss for her. But I want to say two things about that. Because I did follow the whole case. I didn't make any videos or comment about it because I thought it was stupid. Like most people thought it was really stupid. I have two things to say in reference to her, all that she pulled. And one is actually kind of defending her for some shit that I think she got a lot of backlash and didn't really deserve. But then went on to do all of this horrible stuff to almost justify that backlash. Very interesting. I don't know where her thoughts were there. I know she probably thought it was going to turn out differently. You can't just throw out harassment or assault on someone without it actually happening. And I mean, that's a twisted kind of psychology. Like something is twisted about that individual. But I will say about Blake Lively, something is very wrong in her mind. But I will say this. She got a lot of shit in the beginning because when she was promoting that movie, which was about DV, she, one of the interviewers asked her, I don't remember it word for word, I'm paraphrased, but it was something along the lines of, people who watch this movie and identify with it are going to come up to you with very real feelings, and what do you have to say to those people? And she did have a snotty, sarcastic answer, which was uncalled for. She definitely could have handled it differently by saying, well, honestly, I'm just an actress. I did not live this situation. I just portrayed someone who lived in this situation. And I feel like she got a lot of backlash for not being a trauma therapist. She's not a trauma therapist. That's not her job. That's my job. I went to a lot of schooling to do that and lived a lot of life to be able to do that job well. But she's an actor. That's like assuming that a male actor being in war is the same as our servicemen and women, boots on the ground, actually going to war. It's not the same thing. So expecting her as an individual, and she even said in one of the interviews, she was like, I never experienced this. Did you guys see that? There's a fly in here. I just saw it. All right. But she even, I think she said in even one of the interviews, I've never experienced this. So that was a weird question for that interviewer to ask. I felt like he was trying to do like a gotcha type of thing, which as an actress, how would you know how to answer that? You know what I mean? That's not what you're seeing portrayed on TV. You're seeing it in a movie, but you have to remember there's a million people around. There's lights. There's cameras everywhere. What you're seeing is not what these people are actually experiencing. It's what they're portraying. So I felt like, yeah, she could have answered it in a way that just wasn't being a dick about it. But for her to have the correct answer also feels like, oh, well, how would you answer that if you've never been through it? You know, I'll defend her there. But oh my God. But the biggest thing that I took away, and how one of the big red flags that I think we were all like, okay, well, this is bullshit, was when she tried to sexualize a home birth or any birth. Listen, you guys, For those of you who have never seen that human birth, thank your lucky stars every day. I'm going to tell y'all a story. Ooh, when my son was being born, the epidural that I got with him worked so well that I could hardly feel myself pushing him out. Like, he was time for him to come out, and I'm like, okay, I'm pushing, and they're like, no, you're not. And I was like, yeah, and they're like, no, you're not. So my doctor thought it would be a good idea to put, oh my goodness, this is like, to put this big mirror to where I could see what was happening, because she thought it would make me like push harder. And I had my husband, Deacon Sadie, right here at my head. I said, you do not go down there. I was like, I don't know what's down there. I was like, but we had only been married. We hadn't even been married a year yet at this point. Had we? No, we hadn't. Because we popped up pregnant with Deacon like 2 months after we got married. But she did it so quickly. And he was here. She did it quickly enough to where I couldn't say no, and he couldn't either. And she was really trying to be helpful. But, oh my God, you guys, I got a glimpse of it, and I was like, oh my God, take it away. And that was when I started crying. That was when I started crying with Deacon. It wasn't even from pain. It was because that was the most gruesome shit I've ever seen in real life, probably in my entire life. I've seen a lot of sad things. I've seen people pass away. I've seen, a lot of sadness, a lot of trauma. But when we talk about gruesome, there's no way that Blake freaking Lively has ever seen one of her children or anyone else's be coming into the world to think anyone would ever look at it sexually. I looked up at Travis and I was like, did you see it? I think Travis might have actually like kicked the mirror away because he realized how upset I was. He didn't want to look at it either. I looked at him, I was like, did you see it? You saw it, didn't you? And he was like, I didn't see it, but I know he did. He was just saying that so that I wouldn't be so upset about it. It's disgusting. It's not, it, no. Weird. That's how, if you want to give something away, girl, just sexualize something that's so disgusting and people say it's beautiful. No, it isn't. It's not beautiful. Now, the fact that you get to meet your baby and, hold your baby and you finally get your baby, your family, that is beautiful. That is beautiful. But the optics, it's not. It's not beautiful. It's gruesome and gory and just, obstetricians, man. Good for you. Y'all, I couldn't do it. Deacon had an easy birth. That part wasn't easy. Mona did not have an easy birth. I was in labor for 39 hours with Mona. 2 epidurals, neither of which worked. And I do it all again for her, him, both of them, all of it. I do it all again because they're amazing and perfect. But ill. Yeah, Blake Lively, no. That was where your lie just got completely unbelievable to anyone who's ever seen that. Anyone. But yeah. So Blake Lively has ruined her reputation, probably ruined her career, because what director is going to want to work with her now? She's made up all this weird stuff because she thought her and her husband were some weird power couple. Well, to be fair, they kind of were for a while. Not anymore. Never, ever, ever too big to fail. Interestingly, though, you can be too small to fail. Because, like, sometimes from the bottom, the only way to go is up. As always, I want everyone to stay grateful for all of your blessings, for bringing you peace, and we are going to stay grateful for all of our challenges, for bringing us strength. Don't forget, if you're watching this on YouTube, on the Just Another Jamie VB channel, go follow me on Facebook. It's Jamie Spence Grigolite. There's so much more over there. I am so much more active over there. And I have a whole bunch of other fun pages too, like Face It We're 40, which I will be linking. Like I said, the links and descriptions on Instagram and TikTok aren't linking. So, but if you go on my Facebook, there are links there. And if you are watching on Facebook, go subscribe to the YouTube channels, aquariuskidnapping.com and Always the One Smiling. It's at Always the One Smiling to find me on YouTube, even though the page title is Just Another Jamie VB. I need to work on that. It's all coming together, guys. But we're going to continue to breathe and smile as best as we can through everything. And you get sad about your day, just think about Miley Cyrus calling Alex Cooper creepy. See what money does to you? Although I'm pretty sure Alex Cooper came from a pretty affluent family to begin with. I don't know. Anyways, thank you for watching, and I hope you guys have a beautiful weekend. Bye.